Back to the diplomatic duel over at the Security Council. Russia and the United States pointing fingers over the renewed violence in Syria and the attack on that aid convoy that killed 20 people. That, of course, triggered the UN to suspend humanitarian aid, but as Nathan just mentioned, it appears they are ready to resume that again. Our UN correspondent, Liling Tan, has the latest.
More finger-pointing dominated the Security Council this session during a crisis meeting on Syria. Now, a lot of this finger-pointing occurred between the U.S., Russia and Syria, but most of it was between U.S. and Russia. Russia says that Damascus and Moscow were not responsible for Monday's aid convoy attack and is instead pointing its finger at the U.S., saying that an American Predator drone was flying over the area at the time of this assault. The U.S. instead is pointing its finger at Russia, saying it's responsible for this bombardment that killed some 20 people. It also accuses Russia of having changed its version or analyses of events leading up to this attack. Here's a peek at the war of words that dominated the council session a few hours ago.
This aggression that lasted for 50 minutes paved the way for ISIS terrorists to enter this military site.
I don't have any proof, but I'm sure these kind of coincidences require serious analysis and investigation, and we insist on a very thorough and impartial investigation of the attack on the humanitarian convoy.
I listened to my colleague from Russia, and I sort of felt a little bit like they're sort of in a parallel universe here. He said that nobody should have any preconditions to come to the table. Well, we met in Vienna twice. We met here in New York and embraced a United Nations Security Council resolution. We met again in Munich. And in each place, the International Syria Support Group and here in the Security Council embraced a ceasefire applicable to all parties.
As the political debate continues here at the UN, the United Nations is focusing its response for now on the humanitarian crisis and says it plans to resume aid deliveries as soon as Thursday on a case-by-case basis. The UN had previously temporarily suspended these aid deliveries following Monday's attack. It says, however, that once it resumes the aid missions, it still does not have any plans to deliver to Aleppo at the time being. Now, the special envoy for the UN for Syria also laid out plans for a Syrian peace process. Speaking to the Security Council this session, he talked about how there's been some meeting of minds, but from both sides about what they want. Of course, the UN's endgame here is to put in place a transitional government, pave the stage for a constitution to be established and then for elections to take place. But even the special envoy admitted to the Security Council that given the realities on the ground, this seems like a pipe dream for now. Liling Tan, CCTV, New York.